Welcome, everybody. This is the Doggy Style Podcast, number 33. Alberg here without Lola in New York City. And today I was going to go home, but I got a little late, and then I decided to stop by juggling, but there was no juggling today. I used to juggle at Bryant Park, and somehow it wasn't there anymore. So, so I'm walking down Fifth Avenue right now. Really crowded, a lot of tourists. Um, the weather's a little humid, but not too hot, but really crowded. So I'll talk a little bit about what happened today and what's going on. So let's see. Today started early with my boss angering me. He was trying to set deadlines for me for stuff that doesn't need deadlines. Yeah, wait. As a guy comes around the corner too fast. So he's trying to set deadlines. My deadline used to be 2 days before the 21st, which is the 19th. And for some reason, he's obsessed with getting something out by the 11th. I don't know what it is about it. Um, and so I spent a lot of today, it seems to go really fast, working on a change to our system. I was adding some new fields to it. And then my boss called me, seemed like it was important, for really minor shit. That it's kind of like bugs in Excel, which I'll have to show him. I mean, we could manually clean it up, but it would be very hard to do it in an automated fashion. I mean, I could automate almost everything, but this was difficult. This Excel is just putting extra lines in a spreadsheet. I'm looking at a statue that's pretty maybe cracked me up. So I'll take a quick picture of it. Hopefully my phone won't die, as it always has. That's so funny. Wait, I like that. Cute statue of see no evil, hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. Yeah, so it seemed like the day went pretty quickly. I don't know what happened to it. It always seems that way. I could use it. I've always wanted a better way to track my time. I mean, it's nothing to be upset about. It just sucks that I even have to track my time. I mean, who wants to do that? So now I'm right by the Empire State Building. I used to work over here, on 34th and 5th Avenue. Very noisy. I'm not sure I'm going to walk today. But I do need a ride home, so I'll have to at least let my family know where I am. It's kind of nice just walking around the city, I have to say. If you haven't done this, the city's, I guess I've walked through it so many times, I know how safe it is. So, a lot of homeless people. I mean, a lot of them don't look what you would say is homeless. I don't know if it's a scam. It just always seems scammy. So I'm walking down Fifth. I'm going to walk by the um, what's the name? Flatiron Building, which I'm on 34th Street, and I can see it from here. Just the very top of it. One thing I'm glad I'm not rushing for a certain train. Sometimes I walk an hour and rush, and it's just pretty far where I have to go. It is crowded though. One of the things I didn't want is crowds. And I got it. I probably should take a video of how crowded it is here. It says 81. So, okay, so the day went fairly fast, and I don't really have much to say about it, so why don't I just go through my list. They've put up a lot of platforms here to block cars from going up on the sidewalk, right by the Empire State Building. And I have a word for that, but I can't say it because it might offend some people, but it's a specific device to prevent a certain group of people, let's call them terrorists, from killing people with cars. It's really sad. But the funny thing is they put it on the Empire State Building, but every block has hundreds and hundreds of people on it. Any of these blocks, somebody could drive, some crazy person could drive a car up. Yeah, okay, so I'll go through my persuasion book again today, and just a couple of stuff. I'll probably repeat something I've said already. Sorry if I do. That's what happens when you get old. You don't remember what you talked about. It's starting to thin out a little bit. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I might go down. I feel like walking to Wall Street today. It's a motorcycle. Okay, so the first thing is what I worried. The first thing on my list was to automate. This is not what this is what I want to do, is automate all of my coworkers' processes. And what that'll do for me is that I'll get more credit for it and he won't have to do it. So it's kind of sneaky. I don't know if I have the time to do it, but it would be good if I could do that. And, you know, that is a key thing. I know my boss wants everything completely automated. So I could find better ways to do this. Now, one thing is my computer at work could be the platform, but that's kind of a pain. Or maybe I could even run things when I'm not around. So that might be an option. And then there would be one process for me to do, which would be to release what it generated. You know, a few times automated, and then a few times where I would release it, and then at some point I would just let it do it by itself. So I'm getting stuck at a lot of lights. Okay, so my first stop, I'm going to try to get to Fifth Avenue, goes right into Union Square, so I'm going to try to walk down there. Yeah, so that was an idea. I don't know if that was a man or there was a homeless person. I don't know if they were a man or woman with a de Blasio sign. Okay, so one thing I have is that I need to. There's a cute beagle barking at everybody. He probably won't like me. Who's he talking to?
She's gonna jump all of these, but I'm just waiting for those guys to move out of the way.
I have a beagle mix. Yes, it looks just like that. I should show you a picture. You know, see if you care. And just somewhere here. Where did? You know, I don't know. No, of course. Did I delete them? Yeah, it's so funny. Whenever you look for, I mean, I don't know if you see it. Yeah, she's really a little bit. I mean, she's about yay big.
Yeah.
And what's his name?
Her name's Bailey.
Her name, sorry, Bailey.
No
Yeah.
worries.
Hey, Bailey. Well, enjoy. I love it. You love the dogs. Okay, so there was somebody with a beagle barking, and I just stopped and said something. I should have taken a picture. Showed her a picture of my doggy. Not that she cared. Seems to be a sample sale in New York City. We're passing with a big line in front of it. Okay, so one thing I need to do is check the weather because I'm trying to walk whenever I'm behind my weight goal, which I am today, and I've been behind it for a while. I'm trying to lose 1/7 of a pound each day to get down to below 165. I currently weigh 170.8 today. So even though I'm behind my goal, I kind of keep thinking, oh, I want to lose this weight, but it won't come quickly. And one of the things I have to realize is if I just constantly do and follow a certain process, it should come off. So I have to lose 1/7 of a pound. Now, since I'm behind, I have to lose a little bit more. So if I lose 1/5 of a pound, or 0.20, and I keep doing this over and over again, eventually I will catch my goal. And when I'm below my goal, I'm allowed to eat more liberally. So I can eat some junk food. I don't have to walk. So right now I am walking. I get the podcast in. I wanted to juggle though today. So it was a little disappointing that there was nobody there. I'll have to figure out why. I haven't been going. I used to go a lot. I used to go every day during lunch, but just got out of the habit somehow and had trouble going down. Yeah, so I need to look at the AM/PM weather forecast because in the if the weather is going to be too hot or too cold or whatever, I need to know that so I can adjust my walk if I need to walk. There's a couple of really nice buildings here. There's a MetLife building, which I'll show you. And hopefully, so that's the MetLife building. And then you can see the Flatiron building from here. Again, the picture doesn't do it justice. Beautiful building. And it's one of the most iconic buildings in New York City. So if you do come to New York City, check out the Flatiron building on 25th Street. 25th Street? 5th Avenue and 20, I don't know. There's a nice park over here too. It's by Madison Square Park, where Madison Square Garden used to be, which is kind of interesting. I've seen old pictures of it, and it is a nice park. One thing I find is that when I do podcasts, I get a lot of people staring at me because they're like, what's that guy talking to? And I'm probably talking too loud. So I'm on Broadway, and I can't tell. Broadway and something, going through a big crowd. Again, there's a lot of, nice, right by the Flatiron building, there's a lot of little booths where you can get some food. Pretty crowded here too. And I'm going to take, not Broadway, but 5th Avenue down. It is pretty. Now it's a nicer area. Well, I'm right by Italy. I know my son wanted to take his girlfriend here. This is definitely nice. He's got the park. This is a good date spot where you have the park, Madison Square Park, Flatiron Building, Italy. Yeah, it's beautiful here. Really nice. Yeah, I need to make plans with people to just hang out down here instead of just always going to work and running home. Yeah, so that. The next thing I have is to not back into a parking spot, not front into a parking spot, always back in. The other day I was at McDonald's and I was backing out of the parking spot, and I didn't really see it, but another car was also backing out, and I think my son said, "Dad, watch out." And I saw the guy coming and I honked and he just stopped. I mean, inches from me. So that was a little disturbing. So had I backed in, which was hard to do, it's very hard to back in. So even with this rule, doesn't mean you'll do it. But just as a general rule, I would say don't back into parking spots. So I'm right underneath the Flatiron building now. I'll take a picture. And I'm going to continue down Fifth Avenue to Washington Square Park. And maybe walk around the village a little bit. It's great people watching in New York City, so if you haven't been here, it's again, I spend a lot of time just getting to work and going home. But if you do come, you would enjoy it, I'm sure. A lot of great restaurants. Um, Ooh, dangerous. I was just running through cars and a bike was about 3 or 4 seconds behind me. I have something, can you sell my, I'm not sure what that means. I thought I said this one already. So I went over the Tappan Zee Bridge this past weekend and there was a sign that said vehicle with class 1A or something like that, explosives, must use exit 9. So I'm thinking, like, who is this sign for? Is like a terrorist going to be driving and say, oh, I don't want to use the word Muhammad, but I'll use it Muhammad. We cannot go over this Tappan Zee Bridge. There is a sign. No explosives. What are we going to do? We have to go somewhere else. I don't know if that was funny or whatever. Just an example name. Not that a Muhammad would blow himself up or anything. And then I think it's always a funny sign is almost all dump trucks for some reason have a sign on the back that says construction vehicle do not follow. And it's just a bizarre sign. Like, what does that mean? Does that mean that people have followed construction trucks into construction sites? I wonder. Okay, I do have to be a little bit more mindful of crossing streets. It is dangerous. And once again, my tip for walking in New York City, if you're going far, you should always walk with traffic. You'll make more lights. You do have to walk at a certain speed. It's not guaranteed, but I like doing it. Another question I have is, I don't know if you've noticed that cement trucks have been turned around. It's really weird. The cement trucks, the cement used to come out the back, and for some reason they've turned them around where they come out the front. And I do have to do a Google search on that and see why they're doing it. It's just bizarre that they made them one way and then almost all the trucks you'll see. And cement truck is the truck that has that spinning triangular cylindrical thing with a hole in the front now, used to be in the back. Next thing I have is planning. It says I can use a plan. So I don't do a lot of planning. And I would be a nice habit, and since it's June 1st, happy June everybody, it would be nice to maybe plan. I don't know if it would work. I think one thing I find with myself is that if I do plan, I won't necessarily follow the plan. But I've been thinking about doing what's called a 2-week plan, which is from what's called an agile methodology, which is a computer software term which you create a what's known as a 2-week sprint. So you basically try to build something in 2 weeks that you test or is useful, um, has some usage, and get some feedback from your users. So that's something I'd like to try. I've been trying monthly plans and could do better with that. And I probably should make more plans consisting of 2-week, monthly, and it doesn't have to really be that specific. It could just be very general. I think monthly goals is useful, but again, to make sure you pick one. And again, one of my biggest problems is having too many goals, too many things to do, and it would be nice. So I kind of, for this month, my goal was to just simplify, which means try to clean up my mess. And this I think I got from Jordan Peterson, or maybe created on my own. And that is, when you can't take care of little things, you'll never be able to take care of big things. So focus on little things, get a win from it, and then move on to things that are a little harder. So my goal in June is to try to find some little things that I can get done that have been probably going on for years. I know I've been wanting to clean my garage for many years, keep my desk clean, get more organized, plan. Um, and I don't, it doesn't have to be a lot. One thing that I noticed is I've been very tired coming home and not able to do stuff. So I got to figure out a better way, deal with that a little bit. Yeah, so planning, very important. Another thing is, whenever you do step into the street, always look both ways. Ooh. I'm pulling up a newspaper that says how to be a tourist in your own city, which is interesting. This is like a cool idea. One of those free newspapers. I'm not sure what the next one says. Now the lawn. Oh, mow. That meant mow the lawn, which I did last weekend, so that's a done task. And I think I told this story already about a driver. I was driving on a highway and getting off. I was in the right lane, and then I pulled into the exit lane, but there was a car. I did tell the story. There was a car coming on the shoulder, and the guy almost hit me, and he had a vanity license plate, which is, if you're going to break the law, don't have a vanity license plate. It's just stupid. So I'm at 14th Street right now. I'm going to go down to the park, another 14 blocks. I can't remember the name, but my kids know it. Okay. So the one thing that I've been thinking about is to do some sort of Excel franchise where I create a training program and some Excel course material, and then get people to buy the franchise, buy the course material, then they can give it. So that's going to take a lot of experimentation, and not sure how far I'll get with it. One of the problems, and I've talked about this also, is that I'm not doing anything for myself, so it's going to probably be hard. I don't know how easy it will be. It would be nice if I could at least try it, then, instead of just having the idea. Just as a side note, the World Financial Center, the World Trade Center, or the Freedom Tower, just popped into view. It's pretty far away. So I just missed the light. Another idea I had was to to write my book, Key Principles for Success, kind of like a Torah. I don't know if it would be handwritten, but if you don't know what a Torah is the prayer book that Jews use in temple. So it's a scroll. It's made by hand, and I even think if you write one letter wrong, it's got to be thrown out. So it's just interesting. It's parchment, and there's a special guy that writes it. They're very expensive. So I had the idea of writing my book like that. And just a general problem that's not that good is that my phone keeps running out of space, and I just have to make sure that all my stuff is backed up, and then I can just delete most of it, have it on Google. But one thing, just because it's on Google doesn't mean they won't lose it or it won't disappear from them. So still probably need to back it up somewhere else too, like on my laptop. One thing I noticed while I was driving is there's a new way they collect tolls in New York, and that is they have some sort of device that just takes pictures of your license plate. And I thought it was a very interesting business model that you charge people and they're not even aware that they're paying you. I mean, even for me, my wife pays all the bills, so I don't even really notice it. I'm sure if I paid the bill, I would see it. So, but it's just a easy way to collect taxes. So if the government wanted to, you could raise the prices. You don't even know what you're paying. There's something about it that's kind of could be used really in a bad way. So I'm not crazy about it. I mean, the convenience is nice, and even though they have these toll booths, it still seems that a lot of the roads are backing up. I think one problem they had was they had 18 lanes for the toll booths. They went from 3 lanes to 18 lanes, and then they went from 18 lanes back to 3, which would, since you're stopping for the toll, it wasn't that bad, but without it, it creates a very big bottleneck. And it seems like they've been trying to get rid of that. So even with it, there's just so many cars in New York that it really hasn't helped. So I guess this past Friday, a week ago, I went to the Yankee game. And so the Yankees beat the Angels. And one thing is my son does what's called ball hawking, and he got 4 baseballs at the game. Oops, sorry. Which I thought was interesting. He's very good at it. The game was kind of boring. I was saying how I was glad that I had Twitter. Of course, my battery was dying on my phone. Yeah, so I'm at a point where I'm not making... and if you are in New York City, go to the Yankee game. The Yankees play in the Bronx, so you can take the D train up there. So the D train, you could look that up. I'm sure you could look up. It's funny, I'm looking at a blue Peugeot right now, which is a bike I had probably 30 years ago and was stolen from me. I see that. I still remember that bike that was stolen. So I think I mentioned one of my ideas to my wife, and it was really bad. And she said something about, you've been working on this for 25 years, and it really pissed me off. Now, I don't know if it's going to get me to do anything, and it may just be that the idea of a goal is... Oh, I see why I'm not making the lights now. The idea of a goal is, and the dream of it is better than the actual goal. So that's why you should never pop anybody's bubble, because they may just want to fantasize about one day not having to do X, Y, and Z, But for the most part, if they were ever successful at it, it would not create happiness, I don't think. It would create new problems. Yeah, so it kind of pissed me off. It didn't get me to do anything. It's not like I've changed anything or I'm going to be able to do it this time. Um, yeah, so okay, so I'm at the arch now at the park, and I'll take a picture of it. Unfortunately, you can't get a good picture because there's a lot of trees here, and hopefully the phone won't die, which it likes to do when I take pictures. So this is Washington Square Park. This is a pretty park. Maybe I'll just walk around this and head back. You should see how long I've been going on for. Oh, it is a cute dog. Just laying down. Oh, hey doggy. He's cute. Yeah, so I'm going to walk around the park. Maybe I should even sit. One thing I thought about is that I could use a microphone so that if I did want to interview anybody, if I had ever had the balls to do that, which hopefully one day I would, um, I'm sure I could do it if I had a couple of drinks. But just, interview people, have some questions, have a series of questions. Where are you from? Would you like to be interviewed for a podcast? Etc., etc. So I would just need a microphone, and then just hold it out, and then record what they say. Find out what they do. I think it would be a fun thing to do. I could, since it's doggy style, I could interview people with dogs to start and then branch out after that. Just saying the little dogs make little poops. Yeah, it is nice. Okay, so let's see. I've been going for, oh, and I got some messages. All stand-up alarms. That hasn't been doing that well lately, so I developed something called stand-up alarm, and it's basically an alarm that reminds me to stand up. No, not rocket science, but and in the beginning it was working, but now I find it's kind of annoying. It gets in the way. I'm trying to get stuff done and at work, and it's never a good time to interrupt myself. So I got to think more about stand-up alarms and how to do it. And here comes a squirrel. Oh, you're a friendly guy. Hello. There's a little cute squirrel. Let me take a picture of him. Hi there. Hello, squirrel. Hi. Oh, you're friendly. You're a friendly guy. Yes. Hello. Hi there. Oh, he's so cute. Come down a little bit. Where you going? Where you going, buddy? Where you going? You're a nice guy, right? You're not afraid. What you going for? Oh, you're precious. So cute. Ooh, it was tiring bending down. You get old, it's not so easy. So I'm in like NYU territory now. Oh, so I was going to look at, and my battery's starting to die, so I may not want to take pictures anymore, and maybe head back. Let's see how long it's been. 34 minutes. So if I head back now, a little more, it'll be about an hour. So Snapple just recently went to plastic bottles, and I tweeted something like, um, "Made from the best stuff on earth," which is their tagline. Plastic, really? And then I had a picture of it, and I said, "Please retweet if you want glass." And I didn't get one freaking retweet. So I'm going to do it again. And it could be that there were no retweets. There's this weird thing about if nobody's done something, you don't get a lot of, nobody wants to be the first. Or maybe I didn't have the good picture, or maybe I didn't, maybe I didn't post it in the right place. Or maybe I'm shadow banned, who knows? Shadow banned is a theoretical thing that's done to people that Twitter doesn't like. For some reason, I've done something, I'm not even sure what it is, where I'm not allowed to advertise. So I am blocked in some way. I'm on some bad list. I'm not sure why. So I think I'm going to sit down. There's a park here with beautiful flowers. I'll take a picture of it. Oh, there's a mean-looking dog over there. There's some kids run by. Yeah, move out of the way. Okay. Um, yeah, so I'll take a few park pictures, sit down for a few minutes, and then head back. They're pretty. I used to walk by here a lot and never came in. Seems to be a public park, I would think, but who knows for sure. There's a woman that looks like she's with, I guess it's a dog. Oh, gotta get rid of that. Hi there. Hi. Hi there. Good to see you. Nice park. Welcome. Gonna ask down to that. Yeah, so it seems to be a public park, little fountain. I don't know if there's a way out of it here. Yeah, I'm getting a little tired. Yeah, so I thought it was a good tweet, but I didn't get any retweets. It just seems like lately I haven't been getting any retweets. I'm not sure why. It just could be I have a lot of followers, and it could be that a lot of the followers just followed me because they think I follow them back, which I haven't been doing lately. A lot of people follow me, and then they unfollow me. Witches. Yeah, so it would be better if I had a destination. Trying to think of how to go back up. So one idea I had was to follow people who do more likes and retweets. So to look for them, to seek them out, find who they are, and maybe even do my own as a strategy. This is something I need to research a little bit. I noticed there's some sort of EU privacy law. I do have a website and a number of websites, so who knows what they'll do if I violate it. So I think I have to do something. I'm not sure what. Oh, yeah, tired. I've been told about two, I believe, are Netflix shows. One is called Stranger Things, and the other is called Black Mirror. I'm not sure what either is about, but there were recommendations. I'll do a little research and maybe watch one or two of the shows and give you an update on what it is. So one of the things I've been thinking about is reducing anger, how to reduce anger. And I kind of learned from a recent drive that it's very easy to get angry. It's very easy to think right away how somebody was blocking traffic, I couldn't get by. And then I was thinking that there's little I could do. What can I do really? Nothing. And then, so the anger is just a negative, could cause road rage, could go to road rage. So the thought I had was to count them. And so this would be a habit. A good habit to do is to count the times you get angry, and then try try not to go into rage state until you reach some number, say 10. Like it's got to be 10 items, 10 things at work, 10 ways somebody pisses me off. And it was just a thought. So just I wrote some down, and I was doing a lot of complaining the other day. So one of them was that the bathroom was full. Again, an annoyance, not something to get angry about. Coworker was too loud. Same coworker told me to be quiet. So it's the hypocrisy that all people seem to have. Yeah, I'm getting pretty hot and tired.
Yeah, we didn't go down that street.
Another noisy person. Having a meeting. Diversity seems to trigger me. Another one is I made coffee. When I went to get it, there was no coffee. They're just minor things. So with the diversity, that just pisses me off. Like, why the fuck should we hire somebody just because they're a certain race? I mean, it's what fucking racism is. I even think that haven't gotten a promotion, or worried that maybe I won't get. It would be harder to get a job. Thank you. That would be harder to get a job because of that. But I don't know. It could just be imaginary. At the same time, I'm sure that people have not been able to get ahead because they were female or because they were black. But if you're smart, I don't know. It just seems like if you're smart and sharp and you're good, you're going to move up. I don't think it has anything. If you play the political game right, there are very few people. I mean, there are probably some. But in this day and age, I think it's much, much less where somebody wouldn't hire somebody because they were gay. Or wouldn't, I mean, if you were good, if you could do the job, if you could pass the job interview. Now, I'm not going to deny it that if it was between two people and they were tied, what are you going to use as a tiebreaker? Probably somebody that's more like you, somebody that looks like you. Is that racism? And I've been saying that racism is just pattern matching. I mean, some of it is unfounded. Of course, not everybody in a certain race has a certain attribute, but it came from somewhere. It's not made up. And it could be caused by things we're not aware of, but we don't know that. Anyway, I mean, even this whole thing of showing a picture of a monkey, or whatever, the woman called some black woman who looks white to me a monkey. I mean, was she offending every black person? Was she offending this one woman? I mean, I see a lot of black people look nothing like monkeys. And some people have said, if somebody says, I look like a bird, which I kind of do. I got a big nose, so if I look like a bird, is that offending the whole race? I don't know. It's just crazy. It's really crazy how. Oh, it smells good pizza. I'm getting a smell of really good pizza. Yeah, so it just seems like people have gone overboard with this stuff, and even have heard from coworkers that they've actually want to hire people based on race. They want to make sure they have diversity goals. And even a congressperson said, "Oh, black women make 51% of white men." That's a ridiculous statement. I mean, how many of those women are as smart as the men? How many of them are single mothers? how many of them are drug addicts? I mean, you know, to just say a state, I mean, it's like saying, and I tweeted back at her that should we have, and again, I probably got this from Jordan Peterson, should we have an equal number of, you know, white females in prison as black males? You know, it's just ridiculous. And the one thing that Jordan Peterson has taught me, this is this communist ideology, which utopian of everybody's equal and everybody's, it's a perfect world, seems to really fucking backfire. I mean, holy shit. So, and this identity politics on the left, on the right. I mean, the right, you weren't good enough if you weren't a fucking Aryan, right? And they fucking killed 6 million Jews and who knows how many million other people. The left doesn't seem to have that. I mean, the communists didn't seem to. They don't really care. But if you don't follow the rules, if you don't equal, they killed a lot of people. So I have an item on my phone to get access to a database system from a reporting system I have at work. Now I know how to do this. I don't know if it would be useful, but I could have a system that generates reports for me right out of a system without trying, and it's probably not making any sense to anybody. I haven't had enough time to do it, and I'm not sure it would really help me that much. But there's one place where I could use a server to do things, and maybe I could do something from there. Another idea I had was a meeting countdown, some sort of meeting countdown alarm on my phone, on my computer at work, where if I have a meeting, 5 minutes before the meeting, I see something in the corner. As the meeting gets closer, it gets bigger. Aw. Aw, Doggy. There's a doggy here. He looks sad with his phone. Aw, hey, Doggy. Aw. He's staring at this thing. Aw, he looks sad. Took a picture of him. Aw. Looking for his owner. Okay. That was probably the last picture I can take. So I'm on 9th Street right now, and heading up to Penn Station. And I'll probably end this soon. Maybe enjoy this meeting. So so some sort of meeting countdown would be a nice tool. Not sure how we would build that, but again, I just want to see before a meeting is coming up, I want it to be more visible. I want to know I have 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes. And one thing about a meeting, need to start getting on like earlier, like the alarm rings at exactly the meeting time. It could take 2 minutes to get on. So just a reminder, somebody keeps recommending Office Space. Coworker said I need to see Office Space, so just a reminder, I'll put a link to where I found it. And again, another list of little annoyances. Again, no bathroom. Have these one-on-one meetings with my boss, which is kind of annoying. And then I had to wait. I went to another floor and had to wait also. So I talked about this a little bit, that I want to go for an easy-to-reach goal or habit. That you know, that to just start reaching goals, and to reverse, to not go through the most important goal, but the easiest to reach. So I want to create a list of easiest to reach goals, put them down or add them to my goal success alarm software. Maybe I need to add an effort variable so I can sort by that. And then just start going through these easy to reach goals. And this came from a long time ago when I first realized this when I was working on like an operating system course in college. And they were talking about how they prioritize print jobs. So if you have two print jobs, one is 100 pages and another one is 1 page, and let's assume they get there at the same time, the 100-page print job, if that goes first, it'll take about 100 pages and then to print, and then the 1 page, the person will have to wait for 101 pages to get it. Where if you do it the opposite way, if you print the 1 page first, it's just much more efficient. So the person gets it in 1 and the other one gets it in 101 pages. Just a much better method. Even if it started printing, it'd somehow be better to just print the 1 page somehow. So yeah, so that's one idea, is to go for that easy to reach goal or habit. Another thing is, just recently I had an out of control, and this happened before, but this time it got really bad. I'm not even sure what happened, but I had an out of control error in my code. So I had some sort of bug, and I was basically spawning off emails and alarms and things like that, which is not good. I mean, I'm lucky that nobody uses my software right now, because that could have been devastating, you know, sending out thousands of things. I had no way. It was hard to shut down. I had to really fight it. So I was thinking of having some sort of kill switch, which if I needed to in an emergency, somehow type something in to my website and it would just go offline. And then that way, at least in theory, it would stop sending these alarms. And it could just be entering a domain, a URL, and then that would just set something up so that any of the code would not run. You know, set up a situation. Oh, this is really funny. I saw this guy previously with this jacket, and I'm seeing him again. What are the odds of that? It's really funny. It's funny. Oh, you know, I should go to what's the name of the place? To that books. There's a bookstore on 13th Street. Yeah. Or I could just go back to work. I'm back home. I don't know if I'm by. No, I'm already on 15th, so I'm not by it anymore. But that's a good spot. If a Strand. If you haven't been to the Strand bookstore, it's kind of a lot of fun. A lot of used books. So one thing what could have been better is that my code didn't support a truncate command, which clears the database very quickly, and that would have solved my problem. So that's one thing I got to figure out. On the other hand, you support truncate command, you could delete everything in your database very easily. So it's a so one thing I have to do is we have to do what's called a long form checklist. And I need to do it every time for the next couple of reports I do. So it's kind of an issue how well I remember to do it. Um, this is something to be aware of. I need some mechanism. I almost would want it to, it would know that I could set some sort of flag right now, and then when I did the report or tried to send the review checklist, it would then use the correct long form checklist. So it's kind of an idea. I'm in Union Square Park, by the way, right now. Very crowded. Very nice here. So again, this has been a nice walk. I have to say, as a place to go, definitely something nice about it. And I do want to get a microphone, so I can use some sort of wireless mic. Hey. Somebody had a sign, "Make America Gay Again." I guess he was selling buttons with that. I'm actually right by a really good Barnes & Noble now on 14th Street. It's on 14th Street on the north part of Union Square Park. So I got angry at my boss, and this was for an enhancement he wanted to a report that I have no idea why he wants it, and just from my own point of view, makes absolutely no sense. So I was about to send him an email today. It was all written out, and at the last minute I realized I shouldn't send it to him, because he would just, I was going to use the excuse it was going to take a long time, and he uses this fucking very annoying thing is like, well, if it's taking a long time, then you're doing something wrong. I mean, that's his pat answer for everything, or at least he said that a number of times. So, and just in terms of boss's rules, I can never tell him something's taking a long time. Now that sucks. Imagine your boss is telling you to not tell him that something, because he will always come back in. And I was thinking of saying to him, well, if you think it's easy, why don't you do it, since this will be easy for you, and then you'll show me how. But that doesn't get you very far in the business world. So one thing, and I was just listening to a guy named Jeffrey Gitomer, and he's supposedly a sales expert, and he was just talking about taking away objections. And so it was a very important rule, even for dealing with him. So when you deal with anybody, and this is a persuasion technique, sales technique, they're going to have objections. And if you can voice those objections before them, supposedly can help you with sales. Now, do I know if this works? I need to do a lot more work on this and research on it. So for example, if I wanted to interview people, and what would they object to? What could be the objections that they had, that they didn't want to do it? Oh, leave me alone, So is it okay for them to not do it? Of course. But if I can counter their objections before they voice them, like I'm in a rush, oh, this will only take a minute. I just need a minute of your time. You could be famous from this. You'd be one of the earliest people on my podcast. I mean, there's all sorts of reasons people would want to talk to me. You looks like you're, and it would be interesting to see which approaches work and which ones don't. Ooh, that was nice. I just walked by a very cool office building. One thing I've noticed, a lot of women have jeans, long pants, and completely ripped. I mean, like hundreds of. It used to be just knee holes, and now it's like 20 holes in their jeans. It's just thing kind of funny. I've seen a few women today, so but it just seems like that's a very stylish thing is to have ripped jeans. Yeah, so take away the objection. Okay, and the last thing I have on here on my list is today is a key day for my diet. Another woman, ripped jeans. Um, so today's a key day because I'm at 170. This is for weight loss, 170.8 pounds, and I want to get below 170, and I haven't been able to. I'm behind my goal. So today would be a great day to not overeat, um, and to, just lose some weight. I'm really trying and not trying hard enough, but I'm behind. I want to catch my goal. And when I do, I can eat more. So my goal is to catch the goal. It's actually a really good system, I think, for anything where you set up a daily goal. You have a trend line of where you want to go. So that could be the hard part. It might not have something, so it could be, work out more. It could be anything. I mean, that is one thing I'd like to do is lift weights more than I do now, and that just might mean joining a new gym. So yeah, so it's a key day, Friday. My family might want to go out to eat, so just dealing with that whole issue of not overdoing it is important. Okay, so I spoke for just spoke for an hour on total bullshit. So my life. Hope it didn't bore you. I mean, probably nobody listening. So and let me go on to my. Let's go. See, this is a difficult thing because I have to log in. This is always annoying. This is one thing I really want to do, and that is make it easy for myself to log in. So I'm always able to log in. I can do it with my success alarm, so I just have to move it to my other to-do list software, kind of using the same concept. Okay, so let's get on. And I probably need to let me pause this for a second. Contact my family, tell them I'm going to be late. So another thing I probably could use is cards that has like the name of where people could reach me. So if I'm interviewing somebody, I could say, give them a card. And the whole purpose is to learn how to interview people. I mean, I have interviewed people for jobs. So I have, and really, it's a matter of asking questions. I mean, that's kind of easy. Curious. I mean, I kind of interviewers I like, and you can copy good ones. Like James L. Tucher seems to be a very good interviewer. So he could be somebody I could copy. I just need a list of questions. And based on what they say, I just a little girl lost her hat, and she was baby touching her head like she wanted the hat. And based on what they say, you just ask follow-up questions. And it could be practice for getting, real guests. Maybe James L. Tucher on a podcast. Be great to get Timothy Ferris, that whole group of people. One of the guys that I want to get is Zach Hempel. So, there's different levels of fame. He seems to be a lower level person. Actually, I would want to interview authors also who've written books and just find out about what happened with it, or wealthy people to find out what life's like being wealthy. And by wealthy, I mean either, sort of wealthy. I actually do know I do know. I do know the son of a billionaire. Nice guy, so maybe he could set me up, and probably not, but just a thought. Um, but my goal is to really just have fun and not get so stressed. Like, so you could be in a terrible situation. You'd be in a terrible situation, and it seems like a lot of life is how you react to it, what your expectations are. I mean, I could look at this walk and say, um, I've got nobody to hang out with, I'm alone, I'm talking to myself right now. Or I could look at it also as I'm having a great time. I'm just walking in the city, saying what's on my mind. I don't have to talk to anybody who would want to listen to this. And, maybe I could figure out, some more of goals and things like that. So that's the whole point of this. So I've turned down a very dirty block. I'm on between Broadway and 6th, I think, on 28th Street, and it's just dirty. Streets are dirty. The stores are ugly. It's a kind of nice looking bar, or might be a restaurant called Pergola. Take a picture of it. Probably kill no, I won't. I'm not going to take a picture because it'll probably kill my battery. So, I have about 5 minutes left. Something, I'm not going to do anything from my book. And maybe I'll just talk about a chapter that's available. So let me do that. So one disappointing thing is if you type in KP, the number 4S, see how far my thing is. So the first thing comes up is I don't even know what it is. It's something like Indian or something. Ah, there it is. That wasn't bad. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's not even my website. It's a cutestat.com link. No, didn't come up. Yeah, so I've walked an hour, which is good. My goal, you could see the Freedom Tower again on 6th Avenue and 28th. Yes, not even anywhere. I'm still looking. So it wasn't on the second page on my phone, except for there's something called CuteStat. I guess I don't have anybody linking to it. I mean, that's a whole nother thing to do, is to do some more stuff with search engine optimization. Or to find more ways to get free publicity or marketing. Somebody on Instagram called with KP4S. Still up, there it is, KP4S table of contents. And it says I visited the page on, wow. Okay, let's see where that was. Okay, so here we are. So if you go to kp4s.com, you'll see my book, Key Principles. It says 95 Key Principles for Success. The one on Amazon only has 33. Some of the chapters aren't available here. The one is on Amazon is 99 cents. If you can't afford that, I can almost guarantee that you will get one thing out of that book. You follow one thing, it'll be worth 99 cents. And it's a good idea to get it now because I'm thinking of charging $1,000 for the book, selling a limited number of copies, and having 1,000 key principles for success. So that's an idea I have. And if you go to the bottom, there's a random. And if you have feedback on the bottom, you could. And of course, the one I select doesn't come up. As two black labs come by. Guy's tugging on a leash in a way that I don't like. So one thing to look for, if you see a person holding a dog by the leash very tightly, it's not a good thing. The dog owner wants to have a relaxed grip on the leash, not holding it like the dog's about to run away. There we go. So he just relaxed it. No, it's still tension. They're big dogs. Okay, let's try again. So, of course, I do random, and it goes to a chapter that's not available. Try again. One thing about random, it's not selecting a random chapter. It's already hard-coded into the link. So I'm on 7th Avenue. Got only a few blocks left. And so I'll be ending this soon, even though, geez, that worked. Why didn't random work? There it goes. Okay. Funny enough, something I've already talked about, and that is reach goals with the MEAT method. MEAT, M-E-A-T, is an acronym I came up with while creating the Excel diet. It stands for measure, M, measure, E, enter to Excel, A, adjust, T, talk or tweet. This method can be used for all types of goals. I use it for weight loss. It's really hard to read a book. I'm going to have to listen to people reading books and see if I can emulate them, see what they're doing. Measure. Every day you must measure your daily progress towards a goal. I use a scale to weigh myself, as you can't manage what you don't measure. I like to think of a gas gauge or a speedometer. You will run out of gas or speed without these measuring devices. It will be easier to gain weight if you don't weigh yourself. One of the things I thought about is memorizing the whole book. But since I'm old, it would be very hard. It will be easier to gain weight if you don't weigh yourself. Now, weighing yourself is only part of the method. The other parts are just as important. Enter to Excel. You have to enter your data every day to know where you stand. The goal of the Excel diet is to lose 1 pound a week, or 0.14 pounds per day. You want to see a chart of your progress on a daily basis. This will show you how you're doing versus your goal. Knowing this information allows you to do the next step, which is adjust. You must adjust. If you're behind your goal, then you have to exercise more and eat less. If you're ahead of your daily goal, you can eat more and exercise less. This adjustment is really what makes the diet work. If you have an urge for that piece of junk food, you can ask yourself, can I have this? If you're ahead of your goal, you can. If behind your goal, you can't. Talk or tweet. Talk as much as possible about your daily goal. Though this can make you less popular, I like to post a daily weight chart, weight, and comment to Twitter. And I haven't been doing that lately. Other usages. So you can use these four concepts to achieve any goal. Okay, I'm entering Penn Station right now. For example, if you want to write a 250-page book, you need to write a page a day for 250 days. Or 10 pages per day for 25 days. Oh, jeez. I almost tripped over somebody's bag. You can adjust if you're behind or ahead of the goal. Make it public by posting it to Twitter. Okay, that's all I have for today. Everybody have a great day. Happy June. On 2 minutes, track 18. Take care. Alberg signing off.